Welcome to Adarsh Vidyalaya Matriculation online class. Standard 8, Subject Science, Unit 6, Reaching the Age of Adolescence. In today's session, we are going to study about menstrual cycle. During adolescence, there are some cyclic changes occurs in human female. That is referred to as menstrual cycle. What do you mean by cyclic changes? Changes which occurs periodically is called as cyclic changes. Once the girl entered into the adolescent, menstrual cycle begins. In this session, we are going to study about menstrual cycle, reproductive health and nutritional needs of adolescents. As we said, the cyclic changes in females during adolescent phase is called menstrual cycle. So throughout the reproductive phase, this cycle will continue. So for reproduction, the menstrual cycle is must. Before entering into the topic, let's have a look of the structure of female reproductive system. This is the structure of female reproductive system. It consists of a pair of ovaries on either side. These ovaries produces eggs. Many ova are present inside the ovary even before the baby has born. But the maturation of ova only starts during the puberty. From each ovaries, a tube-like structure arises that is called as oviduct or fallopian tube. This fallopian tube connects the ovaries with the uterus. The uterus is present in between these two ovaries. It is a muscular sac-like structure. The inner wall of the uterus contains many blood capillaries and spongy tissue. This structure is called as endometrium. The fertilization process takes place in the fallopian tube. After fertilization, the growing embryo is implanted in the inner wall of the uterus, that is endometrium, inside the uterus. So, in female, from puberty, each month one ova from either of the ovary gets matured and released out from the ovary. Either from right ovary or from the left ovary, every month one ova gets matured and released out. This maturation action is due to the hormones. The release of matured ova from the ovaries into the fallopian tube is called ovulation. Before ovulation, the inner wall of uterus, that is the endometrial wall, becomes thick and spongy and full of tiny blood vessels. The uterus prepares itself to receive the fertilized ovum. If the ovum does not get fertilized, then the thick and soft inner lining of the uterus is no longer needed and hence it breaks. So the thick and soft inner lining of uterus along with the blood vessels and the dead ovum comes out of the vagina in the form of bleeding called menstruation. Why we call it as dead ovum? Because this unfertilized egg in the fallopian tube remains alive only 24 hours after ovulation. Afterwards, it will die. So, if the ovum does not get fertilized, that dead ovum and along with the inner lining of uterus comes out of the vagina in the form of bleeding called menstruation. Menstruation usually occurs 14 days after ovulation and usually lasts for about 3 to 5 days. After menstruation is over, the inner lining of the uterus starts building up the new endometrial wall so that it may become ready to receive the next ovum. If the ovum does not get fertilized even the next time, then the menstruation again takes place. This cycle of menstruation is repeated again and again in women after every 28 days. The menstrual cycle is controlled by hormones. Today we have studied about menstrual cycle. The cyclic events that takes place during the reproductive period of woman's life is called menstrual cycle. The menstrual cycle consists of 4 phases. The first phase lasts for 3 to 5 days, in which the uterine lining breaks down, menstruation occurs. Second phase occurs 6th to 10th day, in which the lining of the uterus thickens again. The third phase lasts for about 11th to 18th day, in which the ovulation process occurs. That is the release of ova from the ovary into the fallopian tube. The last phase lasts about 15th to 28th day, in which the uterine wall continues to thicken. Next is reproductive health. Good nutrition, proper exercise and rest, personal hygiene and good habits form the foundation of good health. According to World Health Organization, the reproductive health means a total well-being of behavioral, emotional, physical and social aspects of adolescence. To keep our body healthy, we should have a proper diet, exercise and personal hygiene. The girls and boys have to follow some of the measures to lead healthy life. Everyone should take bath twice or once a day. Change the underwear daily, and it should be made of cotton and washed and cleaned every day. In teenagers, due to the increased activity of sweat glands, sometimes enhances body odor. So if cleanliness is not maintained, there are chances of having fungal and bacterial infections. So everyone must have bath once or twice a day. Next is menstrual hygiene. Maintaining menstrual hygiene is important for the overall health of women. First of all, girls should realize that menstruation is as natural as any regular physiological activities like breathing, drinking, eating, urinating and defecation. Girls are advised to use sanitary napkins or tampons rather than using cloth. The sanitary pads should be changed regularly to avoid infections. It should be changed frequently depending upon the menstrual flow. Physical exercise. The walking and playing in fresh air keeps the body fit and healthy. All young boys and girls should take a walk, exercise and play outdoor games. Physical activity leads to conditions for better health, sound sleep and thereby mental peace. Mental peace promotes happiness in day-to-day existence. Next is nutritional need of adolescence. Adolescence is a stage of rapid growth and development. Hence, the diet with proper calories and other nutrients is needed for proper health and physical activity. The balanced diet is very much important during adolescence. The balanced diet includes proteins, carbohydrates, fats and vitamins in required proportions. The nutritional deficiencies during this period not only retard the physical growth but also impair the intellectual development and may also delay sexual maturation. A very good amount of proteins and carbohydrates is necessary during this growth period. Apart from that, the adolescents need to take minerals, calcium, iodine and iron for their proper growth. The minerals is necessary to increase their skeletal mass and blood volume. Calcium also needs to be taken to prevent osteoporosis disease in their later life. The calcium is present in milk and milk products or other equivalents. Iodine mineral helps to prevent thyroid gland related diseases. Iron builds blood and iron rich foods such as green leafy vegetables, jaggery, meat, dates, fish, chicken, citrus fruits, Indian gooseberry, that is nelly, and whole pulses are good for adolescents. The lack of iron in the diet results in anemia. To make up for the loss of iron, adolescents need to have diet rich in iron. In boys, the iron deficiency occurs due to muscle spurt, whereas in girls, it occurs due to menstruation in addition to the muscular growth. Personal hygiene for adolescents. During adolescence, the growing children need special attention towards the diet, exercise and personal hygiene. Personal hygiene is a clear indicator of man's personality. The personal hygiene starts from the hair tip and ends down at the toes. The personal hygiene habits for the adolescents are: have bath daily, always wash our hands before and after meals, keep our fingernails clean, wash our teeth and mouth before and after each meal, avoid touching your face, nose or mouth while preparing food, avoid coughing or sneezing around food and close your mouth by using handkerchief while you cough in public places. If you want to taste the food, use a clean spoon. Change your clothes regularly and wash them cleanly, especially undergarments. Do not defecate in open field. Use clean toilets for defecation. If you are not well, avoid self-medication. Consult the doctors. So students, today's lesson we have learnt about menstrual cycle, nutritional needs of adolescents and reproductive health. Thank you.